Okay, and I'll turn my video on as well. Yes, hi.
Yeah, hi. So, yeah,
So
long
please go
time.
ahead. I think, Derek, I think you can ask questions and then we will
Yes.
get on
So,
with that.
primarily, I have questions on the question patterns.
Okay,
Question
correct.
patterns meaning the parts. Basically, okay, little history. I read the 9.1 earlier because I've been preparing for I think past 1 or 2 years, and always had to postpone it due to various other factors. So then now I have joined, and you send me the 9.2 material that I was trying to map between these two. Now 9.2 has 6 parts. One is the
Yeah,
intro.
9.1 had 7 parts. 9.2 has 6 parts, correct.
9.2 has 6 parts. So the additional, I think one section that is gone away. I think you have marked in that mind map. I saw that's
Hmm.
not there. I believe, right?
No, that is there actually, but I've just corrected that mind map and made it. If you see that mind map picture in the Google Drive, there is 9.2. Corrected picture is there at the bottom.
The 9.2, the second picture, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. Second picture says, where is it? I have to open
Okay,
that.
no, no, wait. I'll show it for you actually. I'll open the second picture here.
Okay.
So I will show that. Yeah, this is the first picture. Then the second picture is at the bottom.
This is the one I was talking about. Mode into TOGAF series guide you have
Correct,
mentioned, right?
correct, 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 correct.
So this means it is still part of the
Yeah, it is still
examination.
part of the exam, yes. But only thing is, from the organization point of view, the business scenarios, and the security architecture, a few of the things are actually moved into. I think some eight or nine such small things are moved into capability guide. They're moved into series guide. But exam point of view, yes, you will be quizzed on those.
Okay, and this is basically coming in the foundation, the part 1 exam, right? These
This is
areas.
coming in the part one, correct. Part one, but part two also you can expect some questions from the series guide material, like what's a business scenario, then how do you do capability iteration, how do you do security for an architecture. So you can expect some questions on that, like business scenarios and security and capability guide. You can expect some questions based on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, got it. Then my main questions were around these parts. So from the 9.1, I had mapped out what exactly is asked. Basically, the number of questions in each of those. Basically, I give you, like if you see ADM phases, there are 9 questions based on 9.1.
Correct,
But
correct.
now since the areas have been moved around a little, right? What is a distribution across? Like how many questions in part 1, how many in part 2? Could you give me a little high level on that?
That is, I think, I saw it somewhere. I think, let me check. It is. Is it not there in this video of mine? Like, if you see part one, so what is the distribution of the part one? Have I put it somewhere across? I just need to see that overview of the part one exam details. So I think somewhere I have mentioned that. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is the distribution of it. You can see my screen?
It is coming up. Yes. Okay.
So
All
it
right. Okay.
says 9 questions from ADM phases, ADM
Yeah.
guidelines and techniques, 6 of them. You can take up, I think I've enabled access to you for this course as well, right? That 2 small courses.
Okay. I have not seen this specific slide, but the same one I got from my 9.1 earlier. So
Correct, correct.
my question was, like, say, for instance, if you see introduction to ADM, we have 3 questions, right? But in the new 9.2 also, that's how it is.
Yeah, correct. That's how it is. There's no major change that way comparatively. That the question distribution remains the same. There's not much of a big difference, except they have like removed around 170 pages of. Earlier it was 690 pages ebook. Now it is a 535-page ebook.
Okay. Yeah, 695 earlier combined with part 1 and part 2. Now
Correct.
All part 2 sections have been added into the part 1 areas itself, respective areas.
Correct. And they have actually kind of chopped off a lot of unnecessary detail. So that makes it like 535 page.
So okay. Okay, that was one question. Then the question pattern for part 2, right? So this, does it help if I solve this? What do you call for that? Yeah, the mock test for part 2, because those are scenario based, right?
Yes, they are scenario based. Correct.
Yeah, but where do I get a reference of this part 2 examination? How can I get a feel of it?
Yeah, so actually it's there in your Google Drive, right? If I have shared it, actually, I think you are asking me also initially.
I have downloaded that also.
Correct.
Yes. What is it?
So if you go to this guy and if you attempt, I'm sure you attempted this one, right? So I think, let me share my screen. The folder that I'm showing you right now, part 2, part 1.
Yeah.
So have you attempted both of them?
I have downloaded that. Yeah.
No, have you downloaded and attempted them?
Not attempted. Not attempted.
You need to attempt it. Actually, you need to go here, and you'll get a feel for how the whole thing is about. So you actually need to take this stuff. So the way that guy works is your part 2 actually has something like this. So it's a complete scenario based. So this is a key actually. There's a key file.
And I opened the file. Yes,
yeah, correct. So there's a key file and there's a password. So you just type in the password. Okay, so you'll get actually a set of questions like this. You'll get a scenario based stuff, and the end of the scenario, you will get a question. So the trick is to identify what this guy is asking in a question. The question will be like one big blah, blah, blah. You are doing this, doing that. But towards the end of the question, you will actually have what he wants as a part of the thing. So it will actually be associated with some ADM phase or technique or some ADM step actually. So he's trying to check you on that. So if you see this question, for instance, it will say at the recent board meeting, express the risk. So this question is about the risk management. So you said a lot of several risk initiatives are failed in the company. So he's trying to come up with a risk proof plan. And typically in the questions, you should be looking for if he's the keywords. So I don't know whether you've gone through this course actually, because this is very important from that point of view. This tells you, I mean, how to go with the tips and tricks of how to crack this exam. So if you go with this level 1, there are tips and tricks on how to do this. So if you go to level 2, there are tips and tricks on how to do this. So this stuff, it'll take only 1 hour for you to actually go through this.
This one I have not seen. Okay,
this one you do this, and then this will actually give you the quick reference PDFs on how to crack it up, and then it will give you what is needed to crack this exam in terms of the tips and tricks. So there is a Google Drive here. If you see actually exam details, BOK quick reference points. So if you click on this, you'll get a Google Drive. So the Google Drive actually has all the keywords associated with the phases. If it's the risk management, then the keyword is the stuff like residual level of risk and initial level of risk, if you see, for instance. So I think let me show it up. Okay, key deliverables for identify phases. So you actually can click on this guy, and if you click this guy, so it opens a PDF wherein he says what are the keywords for identifying each of the phases. So if it is so this will help you in cracking and identifying which keyword is actually belonging to which phase, that kind of stuff.
Actually, I built it myself while reading. Okay, anyway, this is more formal.
Yeah, this is actually quite good actually, because it will help you eliminate a lot of your ADM guidelines and techniques. What are the keywords? So if you if it's a risk management question, go to business scenarios, risk management. So risk management, there are keywords are initial level of risk and residual level of risk. Both of them you have to mitigate. So if you can get that kind of a thing, correct, then you're on the right line. So people always think initial level of risk, but the question will have, if you take only initial level of risk, you will only get half the marks correct. But if you take the one which has got initial and residual, sometimes there would be two guys with initial and residual in the answers. If you see the option B actually has risk monitoring, residual level of risk is there in option B, and there could be some other guy also who would be having residual level of risk. Let's say, for instance, so if there are two guys, but then he expects you to know that have you done the identification, classification, mitigation, all of these things in that order. So if you've done that, then you're better positioned for a correct answer. So sometimes he will, to confuse the hell out of you, will give two answers with residual level of risk. But so that don't go along only with that. Also go with the steps of the risk management. Go to do a control F, go to your 695 page, that 535 page ebook, read upon risk management. You'll find that you have to do classification, identification, mitigation, all these things. So if you've done it, then you're supposed to have done a good job of risk. So in this case, answer B is the one which is having all those things in place.
So okay.
You got it,
okay.
right? That's
this
how you need to
very
track
good,
it.
Very good pointer. I will download this Google Drive. I still have access from the.
Yeah, you have access. You have access. So this is actually, I've enabled you access for that stuff. So the two new, if you're not attempted part 1 and part 2 of the exam, so please go down at this page. There are two small courses, each 1 hour. A level 1 tips and tricks, level 2 tips and tricks. Click there, you'll get access to all of them.
Okay, I had kept it for later. I will check it today or maybe tomorrow. Okay, yeah, so thanks, Kiran. That's very helpful. So then, okay, marks distribution we already discussed. Then architecture capability framework. One moment.
So your family stays with you, Derek, in Germany?
Yes, family is with me, Kiran. Okay. I basically moved to a new city this year in January.
Oh, fantastic. Your kids are also with you?
Kids are also with me, yes. Now the schools are closed. They only have 1 day in a week here, Monday or Tuesday.
Okay, so, okay. Here actually in Bangalore, online classes have started for my kids. So they are doing Microsoft meetings and going through all the learning.
Okay, which platforms they are using? Only
Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams.
Okay, so it's quite scalable, I believe.
Yeah, quite scalable. They can put their assignments there. The videos there can be dumped into a common area. People can watch. That kind of stuff. So it's quite good.
Here I've seen the online classes have not really been well adopted.
Correct. Actually, it's a challenge because whether that guy is sleeping or he's playing around, teacher has no control on.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, but then
also the discipline cannot be enforced on children, so they may just get up and walk around in class.
Given the situation, that is what seems to be best. So I think they don't want to waste time and they want to do it that way. But if it has to be effective, then they have to do something better. But it's going to continue. I think it might become the new normal everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's what with the rising kind of infrastructure and this school fees, why not online schooling? Because this is going to cut a lot of.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a huge cut from each person's pay packet, especially the schooling. And then it doesn't teach you anything extraordinarily great, in spite of like already in the US they say education is a scam.
Absolutely, yes. My friend has been telling this for past 3 years. He's doing homeschooling for his 2 kids, and he's saying they know less than other children. They know everything pretty much. So I don't see a problem in doing that.
Derek, what we'll do is maybe after this we will get into this talk. We'll keep this talk limited to the FAQs so that I'm recording it. And once you've done it, I think we will go back to stop recording.
So part 6 I had architecture capability framework also part of the 9.2 exam, right?
Architecture capability framework, yes.
It's part of it. Okay. Because I totally missed out that after reading everything yesterday, I was going through the material, realized it is there. For the examination, basically, I saw your email. I was thinking of attempting both parts together, but I think there is an option now for attempting it separately, right? So how do I approach with the same voucher? I can apply 2 times, or how
Yeah,
is
I
it?
think so, because these guys actually have said that because of COVID-19, they have given a small temporary allowance till the COVID pattern is there. That with the same voucher, you can actually appear for both the parts. So I think, as you said, use the same string to actually schedule part one. And I think using the same string, you can actually schedule a part two also. And it's up to the open group to figure out that you have cleared both the parts. That's how it is going to work, actually speaking. And I remember they had also given two vouchers separately for part one, part two because of COVID at the same price. Like if you take it separately, it's at around $115 more if you take it. But because of COVID, they said same voucher can. But I've not seen how it actually works. So you have to tell me once you actually exercise the option that
Okay.
how does it allow you to do it? Because right now they say you can allow you to do it or take part one only and part two only.
Okay, so basically I go into how do I schedule this? What are the prerequisites? I can go into the TOGAF open group forum and then schedule a test,
Actually,
or
I've sent you the link, no? You that mail how to the exam guidelines
okay.
on how to. So you just open that PDF. That will give you all the steps one by one, and just follow that. That's all.
Okay, surely we'll do that. And the first exam is 90 minutes, right? First part is 90 minutes.
First minute, yes, no. First part is 60 minutes. Part one is 60 minutes, and it's a closed book, and it is 40 questions, like 40 marks, 40 questions, each containing 1 mark. That is how part one is. And part two is typically 90 minutes, 8 questions, each carrying 5 marks. And the first best answer gets 5 marks, second best gets 3 marks, third gets 1 mark, and the distractor gets 0. And part two, actually, you need to score 60% to pass. Part one is 55%, which means you need to get 24 in part two and 22 in part one.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think those were the questions. I will look for the pointers, like you mentioned, the tips and tricks, and
did you time your did you time yourself for the exam and see how much you actually is scoring on that?
Not yet. Basically, I've only done so effectively. I only studied last 2 weeks because I used my vacation. I was planning to travel to India, and I used those 2 weeks. I can travel now. That's when I read through the entire the VOK, and now I attempted the test given in the 9.1 prior to this reading. 9.1. Every chapter has a test series in the last. I used to attempt that, and that I have passed. But 9.2 I have not attempted. I think pretty much it's the same, but there are some differences. But I have to attempt the mock test you have provided. I will do that, and maybe I do one thing. After applying those, I may connect back with you another 10 minutes. What I want you is like you quiz me on certain what do you call some core areas, just to see how I am able to recollect or map it. That will be helpful actually.
Yes, yes, I think sure, that's fine, because don't take the exam before going through the mock test, and ensure that successively your mock test scores are high, and like you should be getting 85, 90 or 95 plus consistently, and then only you go for the final one.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that too, you should be timing yourself so that you are not having any distractions, just like in exam mode. That 60 minutes you put a stop clock and then time yourself 90 minutes and see, because sometimes the second part you will actually run out of time because it's lengthy questions. So there are some people who are slow readers. By the time they finish the seventh question, the time is up actually. So things like that. Most of the cases it's good enough, but some people are slow readers, or that happens actually. So you actually time yourself and get a exam feel, and then take it up.
Okay, and the second part is open book exam, I believe, right?
Second
You
book is
have
open book. Yeah, so you'll actually get that PDF opened inside the exam window. I think that application will close all the other stuff on the computer, and it will only have another tab wherein actually the 535 page ebook is visible. You can do a Control F and search for the keywords and do that kind of stuff. So it's actually that rather than a physical book, you can actually do Control F, search for it, and then answer them.
Okay, yeah, but I think the topics are very elaborate. It's not really effective how to search
Yeah,
for this.
open book is as good as a closed book if you don't know, if you've not read it once, or as you said, if you not even read it once, then it's as good as no use. So it's too vast.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, Kiran, I think I clarified most of the questions. I will now apply for, the attempt for the mock test. And once I have those results, probably I'll set up another 10-minute with you, and then we go over the results. And then if you could quiz me on certain areas that are not very clear, it'll be helpful for me to appear for the main exam.
Sure. I think I've got some senior technology leaders course also that might be helpful for you. It'll help you to interact with your customers and business stakeholders and all that sort of stuff. I think I've sent you a sample of that. Take a look at them, and if you feel makes sense for you, probably we can talk about that next time.
Yeah, surely, we'll do that.
Sure. So I think I'm stopping the recording for now.